Me accepting a job at a beauty brand in Atlanta, and that failed as well. Okay, Lord. So what should I be doing? It probably looked like I handled it well on the outside, but I was crumbling. It made me realize that you cannot pray for God's will to be done and then get mad when things don't work out according to how you planned or how you wanted. Hey y'all, so I know it's been a minute, but let's do a little life update. So I've been having a pretty rough 2025 so far. Some I'll share, some I won't, but I will say that the majority of it has been internal issues, internal struggles within myself, and just trying to figure me out. So if you don't know, my oldest child, Cam, joined the Navy in November of 2024. And right now he is in his first duty station, which is in Japan, over 6,000 miles away. And my youngest, Kaylin, is getting closer to graduating high school. And then she'll be starting her adult journey as well. So I've pretty much been like scrambling, trying to figure me out and pull my life together. Trying to figure out me, who I want to be, what I want to be, what I want my life to look like, and just how to truly step into womanhood. Because even though I'm married and I have kids, I personally don't feel like I truly stepped into full womanhood. And I always say that I think it's because I never had to take care of myself financially. Because when I graduated high school, I left my mom's house, went to my dad's house, then I left my dad's house and moved to Louisiana. And then as soon as I got to Louisiana, I met my husband. And from day one, he has been taking care of me financially. Now, y'all know I've had jobs. I do content creation and I make money off of that. So, I have made my own money. I have had to pay some of my own bills, but I've never had to take on the full reins of taking care of myself. So part of the ways I felt like I could step into womanhood was setting myself up to be able to take care of myself financially if I had to, if something should happen to my husband or, just anything can happen, especially nowadays with the way this economy is looking like. And there were two major ways that I tried to set that up. One was me joining the Navy also, and that failed. Another was me accepting a job at a beauty brand in Atlanta that I would have to move for, and that failed as well. So now I'm like, okay, Lord, like I've stepped out on faith twice and both doors were closed, slammed, shut. So what should I be doing? Like, talk to me, please. Like, tell me something, show me something, reveal something. And I'm genuinely still waiting for that answer. Like, I want it to be loud and clear, no ifs, ands, or buts that this is what God wants me to do. But I'm also gearing up to try and take content creation seriously again because I kind of feel like this is one of the ways that He's going to use me. And it's a big part of what He has for me. Now, I know a lot of women, especially ones that have been stay-at-home moms, know the struggle of rediscovering yourself or finding yourself after your kids leave home. And I kind of want to document my journey just for other mothers who have smaller children so they will know what to expect, because I did not know what to expect or how I would feel once my children started leaving the house, because I never had that conversation with anybody. Like, nobody ever had this conversation with me. And I guess I could have asked, but I didn't think to ask because it was never a conversation that I heard. So it didn't come to me like, oh, I need to have this conversation with somebody that's been through it, because I never heard anybody around me having those types of conversations. So I kind of want to document my journey just so that somebody who may be in the same position as me, like you've never had these conversations, never heard these conversations, can look and see, okay, this is what I should expect. This is what I should be preparing myself for. So another update as to why my attempt to join the Navy failed is that my fibroids are back. Now, I know that I mentioned a few years ago, probably like in 2018, 2019, that I had fibroids. But while I was getting the physical done, in my attempt to join the Navy, they discovered that my fibroids were back. And I had to start going to a bunch of doctors because they were attempting to give me a waiver so that I could still go in. So I was going to all these doctor's appointments and they were stringing these appointments along. Like, they were dragging them out. I'm sure, which was a monetary let me milk this insurance type of thing. I know it was. But anyway, it came to the point where my surgery was about to be scheduled, only to find out we no longer had insurance because my husband husband, he usually works as a part of, I'm just telling all his little business, but it's not like, okay, whatever. He's working a part of a carpenter's union. And as long as he's in the union and working within the union, he's, racking up these hours that can be used towards health insurance for us. But he stopped working a union job like over a year ago, but he still had banked hours, which is what I had been using. So by the time it came for me to get scheduled for the surgery, all those bankable hours were gone because he had been working non-union jobs since then. So those banked hours were now gone, depleted by the time it was time for them to schedule my surgery. So I was unable to have the surgery. And my recruiters were having me to believe that the only way that they would approve my waiver is if I had the surgery and got rid of the fibroids. But in my mind, I'm thinking if I have a surgery and get rid of the fibroids, then there's no need for a waiver because the problem is gone. But anyway, I wasn't going to fight it. I'm like, okay, whatever. It is what it is. And so that was like a triple gut punch for me. Number one, the fibroids being back. And now I can't have the surgery to get rid of them. So then I can't join the Navy. And for me, I felt like the Navy would be a good life reset because, I feel like the military in general is a life hack because you get all these benefits. You get the medical, you get the school, there's just a lot of benefits to it. So for me, it would have been like a life reset. I would have been pressing a life reset button at 38. And for me, it wasn't like a crazy thing to do because my mother went back into the Army active duty at 35. So for me, trying to go into the Navy at 38 didn't seem far-fetched. But I guess my body, was different from hers. And I had just issues that were preventing me from just going in, just like with no problem. Because me and my son actually went to the recruiter at the same time. We went to MEPS at the same time. And it was our goal to leave at the same time. And even the recruiters wanted that to happen because it would be like a history-making thing where they put a mother and a son in at the same time. But it just didn't work out that way. So like for my family and the people that knew when I had to tell them, this is what happened and I'm not able to go in, it probably looked like I handled it well on the outside, but I was crumbling on the inside. Like I was crumbling. Like I really had my heart and my mind and my hopes set on this working out, not just so that, I could go in and have a job, like a secure job with secure benefits. Like it was a way for me to take back, not even take back, but just like pick up my womanhood. It would be a way that I was taking care of me. I wouldn't feel like I was somebody's dependent at 38. Yeah, I was in a place where I just really, really wanted to be able, if I had to stand on my own 2 feet. Like if something was to happen to my husband, I wouldn't be out here struggling to pay bills or to take care of this or take care of that. I was setting myself up to just be a provider for myself, not to be independent of my husband, but to be able to be independent should something happen and I need to be. So for me, it was, whew, y'all, like I'm getting kind of emotional right now just thinking about it, but it really hurt me. And I know I didn't let it show to a lot of people, but I was really, really disappointed and almost felt like a failure because, and I don't think people understand that like with women's bodies, when our bodies don't do what they're supposed to do, how much of a failure we can feel like. And it was hard. I just say that it was hard. Then with the Atlanta job, we were having so many roadblocks just trying to get an apartment. Like our last resort, the apartment told me that we were denied because of my background. Now, if you know me, ain't nothing on my background. And I know me. So I knew ain't nothing on my background. So I requested a report, like a copy of the background report, only to get the report and see there's nothing on the report. So how am I being denied for an apartment because of my background when there's nothing on my background? Like everything, sex offender registry, like the felon like all of that, everything said no results found. How is that the reason I'm being denied? So I just had to surrender to the fact that it just obviously was not God's will for us to move to Atlanta. After letting the brand know, that we were running into all these issues and offering to work remote and to come into Atlanta, a couple of times a month, because Atlanta's only like a 4-hour drive from where I'm at. So I could easily drive those 4 hours a couple of times a month. I offered to do that and they just decided, it's not a good fit and they rescinded their offer. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I wasn't hurt. I wasn't I literally laughed. It was laughable to me because God, what's going on? like what's going on? What do you want me to do? What's going on? But with the whole trying to move to Atlanta thing and that failing, and trying to join the Navy thing and that failing, it made me realize that you cannot pray for God's will to be done and then get mad when things don't work out according to how you planned or how you want it. Because with the joining the Navy, with my fibroid surgery, with this job in Atlanta, I always prayed and said, Lord, let your will be done. And his will was done. So I cannot get mad that for whatever reason, he blocked those things, because obviously he has other plans. As far as the fibroids, maybe it's a situation where he wants to get the glory out of my healing. And with the Navy and this job, then maybe that's just not what he wants for me to do. And I will say that, like, for probably like the past year or so, I have been hearing the Lord tell me, use what I gave you. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I can use what he gave me to work for somebody else, because that's a steady paycheck. But after all this happened, I'm beginning to believe that he's telling me, use what I gave you, as in build something for yourself. Maybe that's why those things that I tried on my own didn't work, because in a way that's kind of taking the easy way out, because people think being an entrepreneur or starting a business is just all money, money, money. Let me make this money. It's hard. There are times when the money is not flowing, and in order to get the money flowing, you got to go out and get it. So it's not just, oh, I'm starting a business, the money finna start rolling in. No. So just having my own business or doing anything like that has always terrified me, because like I said, I wanted to step into my womanhood, and to be able to have a steady paycheck with benefits and all that, like, that is the first thing you think of because it's safe. So yeah. But like I said, I'm still seeking clarity, like full on clarity, because I'm so tired of spinning my own wheels, trying to make something shake on my own. I have to remind myself, you need to pray and ask God what steps you should take. So for whatever it is he has for me, I want a roadmap. Like, I want him GPSing me in the direction I need to go. I'm tired of trying to do it myself, because it just ends up in disappointment and heartbreak. And I feel like it just sets me back, because now God got to come in and basically maneuver me around the roadblocks that me trying to be the author of my life has popped up in my way. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's a little life update, something that I actually wanted to share with y'all, because like I said, I want to kind of document this journey of me trying to find myself, rediscover myself, and just step into my womanhood after, my children start leaving the house. I really want to do something, like, because I told someone that I was going to try to go to nursing school, because that's what I wanted to do when I was in high school. When I graduated, in my yearbook, it even says I wanted to go to Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to go to nursing school. And I told somebody that because they asked me after Cam's graduation, like, what are you going to do now? You got all this free time on your hands. And I said, I think I want to go to nursing school. And they were like, nah, don't do that. Your kids are gone. Now's your time to relax. And in my mind, I'm like, I had a lot of time, because I wasn't always working a full-time job. So I had a lot of time to be at home. Now I want to do something outside of my house. I want to get out. I want to meet people. I want to have a life that's not solely tied to me being a wife or being a mother or taking care of a home. I want to discover LaPortia. I want to know who LaPortia is, what LaPortia is capable of. Yeah, and that's not to say that I regret being a wife or I regret being a mom, because I absolutely do not. But, there are, times that you lose yourself and you forget about yourself as a stay-at-home mom or as a housewife, and you have to have something that's just for you. That's just the journey that I'm on. Whatever it looks like, whatever God has for me, whatever plans he has for me, whatever purpose he has for me, that is what I want, because I don't want to be chasing something that he does not want for me. And then in the end, I end up disappointed or heartbroken or still searching because I haven't been fulfilled in the way that, he's purposed for me. So yeah, that's my little life update. I know y'all are tired of me saying that I'm going to try to be consistent, but I truly, truly want to be consistent. My thing is, I just need to stay off my phone. I need to stop scrolling so much, because when you consume so much content, you start to think that your own content just isn't good enough to be put out there. And I believe that's one of my issues, because I want things to be so perfect. I want things to be so aesthetic that it causes me to, I have all these ideas, but that causes me to just freeze up and not do anything, not execute any of the ideas that God has most likely placed inside of me. So yeah, that's my thing. So y'all be praying for me about that. And I'm definitely gonna continue to be praying about that, because I really do want to be consistent. And I'm feeling like, since God did build this platform for me, for his glory, obviously, but he definitely had his hands on building this platform, that it's a reason why he built it. And there's a reason why he placed the type of gifts inside of me, the type of talents inside of me that he did. So who am I to say I'm not going to use them? I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you have any thoughts, any questions, any comments, any video requests, leave them down in the comment section. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one.